You guys ready for it? The worst wrecked Corvette that I have ever bought. So I buy Corvettes all the time. I mostly buy them for parts, some for projects. The main reason why Corvettes get parted out is because they're rusty, they have no paperwork, they're all disassembled. But every once in a while, I get one that's wrecked. And you'll agree that this car was really nice at one point, but this car really isn't going to go back on the road. It's too far gone. So let me show you guys the wreck damage. The saddest part is that this is one of very few L82 4-speed cars in double black. So probably not very easy to find, and actually was a really nice car, but it was hit very, very hard on this front left corner. Now most of these Corvettes, when they're hit in the front, they're usually hit along this front impact bumper, which absorbs quite a bit of the impact. There's a huge rubber honeycomb underneath this bumper cover. There's a large rubber plate, lack of a better word, underneath the nose, and it has all these brackets that can collapse before it gets to the frame. But this car was actually hit in the wheel. There's two reasons why I think that. One, based on the damage, but two, if you look, I have 3 of these weird circle wheels. Then I have one random Corvette Rally, which that's fine, I can sell the Corvette Rally. But most of the damage is right here along the frame. So here on the driver's side front, we're going to take part of the inner fender out. It's been smashed. We're going to take a look at the frame. It's crazy. Alright, so the main damage is this frame on this car. Check that out. I mean, that is literally banana shaped. You have dents all the way from basically the spring pocket past the motor mount to the steering gear, and banana shaped frame. I mean, this is almost like a 90-degree bend from one side to the other. I'm surprised that this bracket for the Z-bar on the 4-speed didn't break. This body mount looks okay, other than it's been twisted off. I don't think it hit any of the bird cage right here, any of this piece. But a couple other pieces of damage I see is the rag joint's kind of broken in half. And then the exhaust manifold is completely gone. Look at that, broken. That happened on the accident for sure. We got broken motor mounts right here, those are toast. We also have a broken control arm. You can see the shaft right here bend up and over like that. The control arm is bent down and it's completely shifted. So this part of the frame should be like this, and you can just see how much it's moved. But it gets better. There's more damage. If you look over on this side, you can see we have broken tie rod. The bracket for the power steering is shifted, and then the lower control arm is also banana shaped. I hope you guys can still see this with my straps and everything, but the control arm is pulled away from the frame. Might get a better view from the front. Look at that. That is amazing. Also the front, obviously the front frame horn is kind of kinked like that. This car was hit hard. Probably by another car. That would be my guess. So this is what a Corvette frame that is straight and beautiful is supposed to look like. It's got a nice curve. There's a little dimple from the factory right here, and it goes over to underneath the body. As you can tell, this one, well, it kind of no longer does that. Not even close. The sad part is, this was actually a really nice car before it was wrecked. The VIN derivative is an X, so it is the L82. But you can see it has a really nice interior. It's all black, in really, really good shape. And it has the coveted 4-speed. Everybody loves having a 4-speed Corvette, and this was one of them. It's rust-free, but you know what? It's not worth putting back on the road because of all of the accident damage. And the title, I believe, is salvage. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it is. It's also been sitting for quite a while, so it'll need some love. I figured I'd show you guys another wrecked Vette just for fun. So this Corvette is a 1981, I believe, and it was wrecked in the front, but not nearly as hard. After it was wrecked, it was left outside for like 20 years, so it's super duper rough. But with that being said, we can look at the accident damage on this car and check that out. So this car was not hit as hard as that black 77. It was hit fairly well, but it was hit in the front impact bar. And the way I can tell that is because for the most part the control arms are straight, okay? Most of the damage is reserved to the front frame horns. Now remember, these attach to the big crash bars that were in front of the car, and you can see how it was hit and kind of pushed that way. So it was a front passenger impact that direction. You can see this frame horn is completely shot. It's curled up and in, but all the control arm mounts, for the most part, look really, really good. Same with this side. All the control arm mounts look really, really good. This frame horn is kind of ripped from the frame, and you can tell a car's been hit a lot by the frame horns. These ones are obvious, but for smaller impacts and littler stuff like that, you can look at the sway bar mounts. You can look and make sure these welds aren't broken and there's no bends like that. But yeah, this one's not too bad. I mean, it's super rough, don't get me wrong, and it totally needs to be in the parts bin, but it's not bad at all compared to that 77. But there's some more accident damage for you guys. Now, something interesting about these cars is if you get hit on one side, you always want to go ahead and check the far side for damage. And I'll show you why. So you see how this whole fender right here has been popped off of the car? That will show you basically how hard the accident was. So you can wreck a Corvette and not pop the other side off, but if you wreck the driver's side and the passenger side is popped off like this, or you wreck the passenger side and the driver's side looks like this, you can tell by that how hard it was hit. Obviously this one, the frame tells most of the story, but if you ever have just body damage and no frame damage, this can help you figure that out. You can also look at the door gaps. Do you see this door gap is quite large, and I can fit my pinky in it all the way down the door. And then we can go around to the other side of the car. You guys can see this door gap. If I move this weather stripping, well, ignore the weather stripping, it's actually really, really nice all the way down. The same goes with the gap for the T-tops. See how it's small here? You get to the other side and it gets wider. That's because the car is basically banana shaped. So another sad thing is it looks like this really wasn't that rusty of a car. The bird cage right here is nice on both sides. That's mainly where they like to rust out. But in all truth, you probably could fix it. You probably could put it back on the road, but I mean, it'd be a total body off. You would need a new frame, a new front suspension, you'd need new front crash bars, you need a new front clip, you would need a new windshield, a new door. You would need a lot. And honestly, I don't think that it wouldn't be worth it because I think the body is tweaked just a bit. I don't think the damage is just reserved from here back. I think there's some more hidden stuff in other places that you would find if you took this car apart. But hey, it makes for some good good video content for you guys, and also good parts. I'm parting this car out, and pretty much every single piece on this car will be for sale. So if you guys need anything, make sure you send me an email, hit me up. I will sell anything off of this. I think the only thing I'm keeping is maybe the carburetor. But anyway. Alright guys, well there is the worst wrecked Corvette that I've had ever. I might have a worse one. I don't know. We'll have to see. But this one definitely takes the cake as the worst one that I've ever had. Sadly, it was a really nice car. But honestly, they can't all be restored. They can't all live. This one will make a lot of other Corvettes happy and put a lot of other Corvettes on the road. So, again, if you need parts, hit me an email, and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching, guys.